I've got this question on what is a certificate pass, and in my mind that also leads to, so what can I study with a certificate pass? And with a certificate pass, obviously I mean a certificate pass in matric. You know, when you get your matric certificate, it can, as I understand it, you can have one of four kinds of passes. You can just have a pass, you can have a certificate pass, a diploma pass, or a bachelor's pass. For this video, I want to concentrate just on the certificate pass. So let's start by just looking at, so what is a certificate pass in terms of points? Okay, so the requirements for a certificate, or a higher certificate pass is probably more the correct name, is an APS score of at least 3 in your home language, an APS score of at least 3 in 2 other subjects, and an APS score of 2 in other subjects. So a total APS score of 15 means you have a higher certificate pass. And I'll make a different video talking about, you know, how do I calculate my APS score, but there's lots of websites where you just put in your subjects and your marks and it just gives you your APS score. So with a high certificate pass, you won't be able to attend university. To go to university, you need a bachelor's pass. I also think people often don't really understand how few university seats there are. In South Africa, for every 10 people that apply to go to university, 1 will actually get in, because there just aren't that many physical seats. There aren't that much space in our universities, if you compare that to how many people actually want to go. So you've got a certificate pass, you can't go to university. What can you do? I think your first option is to say, I absolutely must go to university, I want to upgrade my matric. Your first option is to say, I want to go to university, let me upgrade my matric. How do I do that? You go on the second chance program, you know, you rewrite some matric subjects, and in that way you can upgrade your matric. If you know you're going to be older than 21 by next year, May month, you can choose to do the adult matric. You know, that's a whole separate matric program. You get the same certificate from Umulusi though, but you can also use that to get the marks to get yourself a bachelor's pass. But let's say you're not feeling like upgrading your matric. You wanna get started on more studies now. What can you study with that certificate pass? A wide range of programs. I think the most students actually studying accredited courses in South Africa are not on degree programs. They are on national diplomas and national certificates. So with your certificate pass, my first recommendation is to consider the Institute of Certified Bookkeeper programs. You can do a certificate, you can do another certificate after that. You can end up with a national diploma. It's job orientated, it's respected in the workplace. So of course I'm always going to recommend considering Institute of Certified Bookkeepers, specifically for bookkeeping or accounting, and certainly also for office administration. I think the second stream of studies to consider are your national diplomas. So you might go, but I have a certificate pass, how can I do a diploma? Well, the national diplomas are built up out of certificates. You're going to do an N4 certificate, the N5 certificate, the N6 certificate. You're going to finish your 18-month practical work, and then you get your N6 diploma. So your certificate pass certainly gets you in the door into that program. Kinds of studies available, you are looking at management, you're looking at office administration, financial management, bookkeeping, accounting, legal secretary, educare. So you can hear these are all kind of what I would call mainstream programs. You know that it's popular areas of work. You know that things like even management, certainly financial management, certainly office administration are on the skills list. So you know if you're studying in that direction, chances are much better to get a job. And what I really like about these national diplomas is that you build it up step by step. It's not studying for 3 years. If you pass, you have something. If you fail, you have nothing. You study for 6 months, you write your exams, you get your N4 certificate. You study another 6 months, you write your exams, you get your N5 certificate. So I like a program that builds up like that, because after 6 months, you already have your first post-matric accredited national certificate, and that's real value. Let me just dig a little bit more deeply into How do I know I have a certificate pass? Okay, the easy way is you have your results, you have your matric certificate from Umulusi, and it tells you, it says on there, you have a certificate pass. A certificate pass, I've spoken about the APS score that determines a certificate pass in terms of, percentages and subjects. If you've achieved 40% in your home language, 40% in 2 other subjects, and 30% in 3 other subjects, then you have a certificate pass. So the minimum requirement, is a 40% achievement in matric kind of gets you a certificate pass. Yeah, maybe it's useful to just give the exact program names. If we're talking about national diplomas, you can enter into with your certificate pass. We're looking at the National N Diploma Business Management, National N Diploma Financial Management, National N Diploma Marketing Management, National N Diploma Human Resources Management, National N Diploma Management Assistant, National N Diploma Educare.